Astro World. Welcome to another Hardwood and Astro Turf Talk show. Peoples, we got a spicy one for you today. We got a lot of hot topics to talk about. Some stuff went down last week. I'm in the NBA world, and we're here to talk about it today. Peoples, let me introduce the panel to you for today's show. Got my boy Roy Vaughn on the controls in the back. We got Hacks. And we got your boy Cody. Cody,
Sir.
didn't see Cody in a long time, but Cody back with us today to chop it up, to talk some stuff. You know, when Kyrie news, your boy Cody can come out, so
Have to be here.
and that's what it is. So, fellas, how you guys doing, man? How was last week?
Last week was good. Life is good. Just staying blessed, still relaxed, and just watching with some popcorn as the drama unfolds in the NBA world.
Nice. Okay, now you, Cody.
Man, I wasn't on the NBA last week. I was definitely watching the NFL, watching the conference finals last week, but I'm back on the NBA focus this week.
Nice.
Well, this Super Bowl week, isn't it?
Yeah,
for
for
sure.
sure.
You got to wait.
No. Oh yeah, this Sunday. Yeah,
this Sunday.
This Sunday.
Well, I know
Some
Hakeem
are calling
is
it. Some are calling it the Rihanna show with some football intermission, though. But
I think that's what it is. We're more excited about that than anything else.
Yeah.
So, I know Hakeem is a little bit. I follow NFL a little bit. Who you got to win?
Honestly, it's tough, boy. It's between Kansas and the Eagles. I feel like the Eagles have the better team, but it's hard to go against Mahomes. So
Mahomes is a top quarterback for real. I got
No,
he's like the best quarterback right now in the NFL.
I think Jalen Hurts would definitely take some. You can't do that, Jalen Hurts, man. Jalen Hurts played a hell of a game in his conference final, and he was playing very good throughout the season. I think Mahomes got a challenge on his hands for sure.
I for sure, most definitely. But I think about money on Mahomes. I feel Mahomes has been there before, and I think he's eager to get another Super Bowl ring. So money on Mahomes, Mahomes boy.
All right.
I think it'll be an exciting game to watch. I think I can go and watch it.
It can
Or
be a
at
special
bar or
effort too.
something.
For
Yeah,
sure.
for the vibes, you know. Right, Vaughn, what going on with you, my brother?
I cool here.
How's life?
Hey, cool, man. Can't complain. Just a little bit hungry, but we move. We move. We got a lot NBA action this week, as Hakeem would have alluded to. So crazy week in the NBA, and just a note, the trade deadline it'll be on Thursday, I think. So
Thursday, yeah.
a lot of craziness still probably left to happen, depending on how it goes. We still got to hear
It's
from
that law
KD
trades.
and stuff like that too, you know. So,
I hope KD gets something nice, though, to be
If
honest.
KD, I wouldn't be surprised if KD had to just get traded. I would not be surprised as a kind of drama looking to hear about.
I mean, this might be his chance. Last time he requested it, he didn't get it. So hopefully, if he requests something, he gets something this time around. I think it's only fair, to be honest. And I hope he gets something good too. So I don't know. That's something that we could probably talk about later on. But housekeeping, before we get into anything else, peoples, if you're in the stream, hit that like button quick. Don't waste any more time on it. If you are new to this channel and you enjoy what you see today, or if you've watched any other videos that you've seen on any of the social media platforms, subscribe to the channel, peoples. We'd appreciate that. And share the show with your friends, because we definitely enjoy the feedback when you guys come on and chop it up with us. Let me dive right into it, peoples. The big trade. Kyrie Irving, after a whole host of drama with the Nets over the past year and a half, or maybe even more, seems like he's been kind of kicked out in a way. But he's gone to Dallas Mavericks. So the breakdown of the trade is basically Dallas receives Kyrie Irving and Marquee Morris, and the Brooklyn Nets gets Spencer Dinwiddie, who's a good player, Dorian Finney-Smith, and some future draft picks. 1 second round pick in 2027, and then 2 years after that, they get a first round and a second round pick. The first round pick is unprotected, however. So I want to hear you guys' thoughts on this trade. It's been the first of all the drama this week, and I'm excited to hear your thoughts. Rayvon, let me start with you today.
Off the bat, Kyrie requested trade on Friday, and by Sunday you
Mhm.
telling me the man already had a deal done. I was like, so fast. I tell myself, these men really just sick and
I
tired of
tell
this
you,
man. Oh my goodness, the sigh of relief that Joe say probably let go when they get this straight. But actually, it hasn't officially been completed because at the moment they're looking to see if they could get a third team involved, so to see if they could get some more assets and stuff. But just the thought of Kyrie getting away from the next team probably just put that organization into a total zen
So,
state. you know,
mhm.
like
yeah,
come
they
on, it's
must
be so
be so
much.
relieved.
I know a lot of things that he would have gotten into. It could be controversial to say whether it's all his fault or not, but nonetheless, there's been a whole cloud over Kyrie for the longest time that he's been at the Nets. A whole lot of drama that comes with Kyrie, and I just know that they're just happy that this is all have gone. There could be any potential for more drama with KD. You don't know what he's going to do. You don't know where his head is at. He hasn't come out and said anything as yet, so we gotta watch out for that. But the cancer that is Kyrie that has been on the Nets for the past 3 or how much ever years now is gone, and Nets fans are probably celebrating about it as it relates to the
Not
trade.
all, not
No,
Except
all, not
me.
no.
all.
Oh, well,
Except
yeah,
me.
yeah,
Come
fair
on,
enough.
come on.
Yeah, you losing a big time talent, but you taking
Yep.
away a big time distraction. you know what I'm saying?
And
A mega time distraction, and you could at least focus on basketball only for a little bit. You know, as part of any team, things always come up. You know, John Morant going through some stuff there on the Memphis Grizzlies right now. A whole sort of stuff happening in the league, but to have it this consistent, truthfully, Kyrie has been only consistent as producing drama for the past time that he's been there, not even being available to play the games, etc., etc. Like, is a sign
I
of
don't know.
relief, I would say.
I don't know if I could agree with that, no, right? Because yeah, I would say Kerry's had his issues off the court, but no one can know he has been an asset while he's been on the court. And the Nets, point blank, are a better team with Kerry. Kerry playing basketball for the Brooklyn Nets is a better team without him playing. So they're going to miss him. The fans are going to miss him. I mean, the players, the front office, they're going to have their issues, but I think majority of the fans are going to say, "Damn, I wish we still had Kyrie." So Spencer Dinwiddie, great player. Obviously, he's returning back home, so that's kind of fun. That's kind of ironic that he left. They traded him away for James Harden. I know he's returning a couple years later, but I think the fans are gonna miss him. Some of the players will be like, "I know Kyrie was stressed, but boy, he could drop 30 points just like that. That would be real lovely right now." So I think they're gonna feel it at the end of the day.
I have to agree. As much as I would have loved to come on this stream this evening and bash Kyrie Irving, I do believe this now makes the Nets a less relevant team in the East. I think it makes the West a smaller organization, a smaller market organization, though. Although they're in New York, we always knew that they were the second to the New York Knicks inside the New York. I know this only lessens their appeal to other basketball players, especially knowing that KD is also probably looking to leave. If not this trade, by next trade, KD is going to be gone. Yeah, no. So Nets had a big uh, a big push when they got KD and Kyrie, and then with the addition of James Harden, and then we came to see the failure that those three end up being.
Hmm.
There are no rings with it. There are no championship berths with it, and nothing to show for that big three. So it only shows that the Nets organization cannot handle championship basketball, which means that no other star is going to go to the Nets in the future, in my opinion.
Yeah, I feel they definitely did something wrong. Like,
Yeah,
I think
and
what they did wrong was to see the man that Kyrie is and still went through with doing it. Truthfully,
yeah,
I won't put it on the organization. I would put it on KD, man, because it's the only reason that Kyrie is there because of KD, and vice versa
yeah,
to some extent too.
nah,
But
KD's there because of Kyrie, not the other way around.
yeah, yeah. Kyrie's going to push
Kyrie,
KD.
yeah, Kyrie pushed Kyrie was like, "We got two mats slots there available. Let's go Brooklyn."
where I beg to differ with that is it talking about from the eyes of management. I don't see Kyrie Irving as my best player or the leader on my team. I see Kevin
No,
Durant
no,
as
he no
that
he,
at the end
he
of
is
the day.
he no Kyrie is the leader on the team. I would say KD is not. KD's the best player, but he's not a leader. They
The
don't
leader.
always coincide.
That's
Why?
But
Why?
go
Go
ahead,
ahead,
Hans.
because I was gonna ask you why you don't think that Kyrie will be the leader.
For me,
Yeah.
because as a leader, you trying to galvanize a group of people and try to get them to work towards one goal. COVID come, you can't figure out. Well, you can't figure out a situation, and that if you want to lead, you gotta lead by example and action as well, not just speaking.
But did he or did he not?
But for who? That's the question. But for who?
That's the question.
Because Kyrie's focus at that time with the whole COVID situation was, oh, I gotta take a stand for people that get wrongfully dismissed, for being laid off, for not having the vaccine, etc. Which I can understand. But yo, you got a job to do, brother man. What about the people on your team?
Mhm.
If he
I
was
mean,
truly a
some
leader for the next players, then
yeah.
he could have taken some. I don't know. He would have been there on the team. I would say that's my position for it. But he wanted to be a leader
Some
for
people
someone
can
else. Not to
argue
say that he's
that.
not a leader on a whole,
Mhm.
taking it to him as a person, but as it relates to Nets basketball,
And how it turned out
yes,
is like
he
mhm.
he hasn't been a leader for that team. That's my
I
position
I,
on
th- I,
that.
th- I think it's better. It's fair to say he's not been a great leader or he's not been a good leader for the team. But to me, he was still he had one of the more dominant personalities. And any day on a basketball team in the NBA, normally the best players, typically one of them are going to be the leaders. So you can't expect, as KD would alluded, Nick Claxton to be the leader of your team. KD or Curry or Harden, when Harden was there, one of those three players are going to be the
Probably
leader.
not Harden.
Well, one of the three players, and then they're one of the three players. So as Kyrie has the more of the dominant personality also, between him and KD, he was essentially be the leader. So Kevin Durant being somewhat of a, I guess you could say a follower for lack of better words, he's going to kind of follow on what Kyrie goes. So Kyrie's going to have his beliefs, he's going to have his stance, and whether or not it was in his self-interest or in interest of the team, he took that stance. He was the leader of the team. I don't agree with all of everything he did, but any day he was the leader. So
I,
So
I can't agree with that, Hakim, because if you look at it, we're talking about leadership on the basketball court. If you want to take leadership on the basketball court, you gotta be able to play the games. You gotta show up.
Yep.
You gotta lead
You
by
got shot
example.
this.
And if I felt as though look, there was a long stretch before when KD was first hurt from after the Warriors finals. He when he signed with the Nets with Kyrie had that whole year to play without KD. And what did that result in? Nothing.
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing. So if he was such a big of a leader, he should have galvanized that team to play to have a winning record when he was playing, and it didn't. So I just Kyrie is Kyrie is not. I'm not saying Kyrie is not
He's
a
not
leader
that
on the
guy.
whole. He's not that guy. He's not
He's
that
not
guy
that guy.
at all. He traded in Boston. It didn't work out. He had no injuries or anything like that with him. It didn't work out.
Mhm.
His personality wasn't meshing with the guys the guys didn't want to follow him. So if you're truly a leader, people want to follow you. You know, he's had more than one instance to prove it, and he hasn't done it. Kyrie is suited to have a player that's better than him, and he follows the lead, especially on the basketball court. In the locker room, yes, there may be cases where Kyrie is going to be that leader and speaks up and talks and what's not. But at the end of the day, he needs to have someone
he's the
who
number
is
he's the number two guy basically
yes,
on the
he's
basketball
he's the
court.
number
He's
one two
designed to,
guy. It's bad.
yeah.
He's LeBron is the best example of it. LeBron was that leader, true and thing.
True.
Yeah, and he excelled in that role. That's where the best place for he is with the Lakers.
Wait,
Probably.
but right, we know realize, and you saying this, the worst thing for our organization is for the number two guy to think that he's the number
Number
one.
one.
And that is exactly what occurred at the Nets
And
because KD was not establishing himself as the
exactly.
number one. So it left a hole for Kyrie to believe that he was number one. The ego got ahead of him. And he's thinking everybody's behind him when he was not the person to lead.
Exactly.
That's what you know.
That's
So
brilliant.
so no that
what does it take to be number one though? That's the question I got to ask you guys. Because
they got
if
it's more than just basketball. It's intangibles that the leadership mentality, one, you also have to be accountable. You have to show that you're professional. So you're showing up in the practice on time. Even before practice, you were there before the other guys. You gotta be able to mentor the younger guys, right? You gotta show that you are invested in the team as a whole. So you're not just thinking about yourself and you dropping 30 every night. You gotta make sure that Hansel also getting points, Hansel releasing the ball properly, making sure that he's doing what he needs to do at practice. All of these things is what it takes to be a proper leader. And if Kyrie is not doing that, then he is not the person. He's not the number one. But that's also a fault of KD, because if KD is also not doing that, then the basketball team, has no real leadership. Then who's driving?
Some of those things that you mentioned though are more in the background type of stuff, like things that happen within the organization that fans don't get to see on a daily basis. But we could only judge based on what we see by the media and what we see on the basketball court, right? And then we can make inferences from there. So I gotta disagree that the guy is not a leader. I think he is.
He may be a leader, but he's an effective leader.
No, it's just that some things aren't as surface level as they may seem in the moment, especially to the fans. They got other stuff that is deeper than that. And I agree, while it affect and kind of tarnish what the Brooklyn Nets could have and should have been, I don't think it's fair to just point out the one individual and the sequence of events that happened because of that.
I would definitely not pin it on one individual. That was
the
organizational failure.
KD got something to do with it. The organization got something to do with it.
I think James Harden got something to do with it, because I think he was the catalyst for the whole breakup.
No, man. I think it starts with the organization from the top. At the end of the day, you have three superstars, you had three superstars on the Brooklyn Nets, and you hired a first-time coach, basically a newbie to someone who's coaching.
Here it is.
Yeah,
that's on their request though. You gotta remember that.
But I think they should have. But at the end, they used as the GM or the owner of the organization, you should have had. You should have been a little bit wiser to say, you know what, we have three superstars. Do we really want a first-time coach? Someone's not even an assistant coach, but he's now coaching for the first time. The coach, one of the moodiest players in Kyrie. The coach, an unpredictable person in KD. KD's be doing some stuff on the ground, but KD in itself, and James Harden, who has an attitude. You don't have three. You have three essentially superstars with a lot of attitude, all different personalities. That's a lot to ask. From that alone, you just set yourself up for failure.
But you mean from the time we hear that Kyrie say, "Oh, we don't need a coach,"
and then they allow that to happen too. And then you got all three superstars asking for a trade within just over a year, within a year. Something has to be wrong. Harden asked for a trade, got it. KD asked for a trade, he didn't get it. I know Kyrie asked for a trade, he was gone in about 2 days. I never forget Sunday when I think I took a nap and I woke up and I checked my phone and I saw Kyrie traded to the Mavericks. I said, no, he must be still sleeping. Ain't about to sleep. Woke back up an hour later, and it was like, it's for real. Couldn't believe it. To the Mavs of all teams, And that happened just like that. For the time I heard that Kyrie's up for a trade, I told myself, this is not going to happen. At least if it does, not going to happen so quickly. And 2 days, as Cody said, the only regret I have is I didn't go to Lakers. That's the only regret
I don't think trades happen upon the request. I don't think people start to talk as soon as a player asks for requests. Players talk with each other. Our organizations get a little insight into who they could possibly get when the trade window comes around. So I don't think that trade happened over 2 days, to be honest. I think there were a lot of talks in between that we obviously didn't see that allowed for that trade to.
Kyrie didn't want to go there. The report said that Lakers was one of his top choices, and it was reported that Joe Tsai, the owner of the Nets, Brooklyn Nets, was like, the last place I'm going to trade you is a place that you want to go to. So when I heard that, I was like, golly, there goes Lakers,
I wish you get 30 Rockets.
I mean, all these things are speculation because we don't know if that actually happened.
Right.
So that there's that too. But again, I still maintain that Kyrie has had multiple opportunities to, display his leadership and has failed at doing
Mm-hmm.
so, and has his attraction to drama has far outweighed his, you know,
His value in
yeah,
basketball.
yeah, yeah, right,
Yeah,
and that's why we would see it happening. A player that skill being traded for Spencer Dinwiddie and Dorian
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 Finney-Smith.
Finney-Smith.
They
Like,
get
come
they
on,
gave him
man.
away.
Like when they think about that, it's just like Kyrie, the basketball talent, is being traded for so little. So
Mhm.
little. You could go there and get like John Collins for something like that or something.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's just show you how far his off the court drama has impacted his value as a basketball player, and it's sickening. It's sad, truthfully, to see.
Well,
Um,
to be fair, a lot of teams did offer a lot more than that. It's just
who's a lot of
I
teams?
said Joe
Lakers.
say well, Lakers, the Suns made some. Suns offered Chris Paul, I think Jay Crowder, probably some picks as well too.
But
Like,
you would
a
call
lot of
Chris
teams
Paul a
were
lot more. That's the question right now.
Chris Paul would with KD, I think is a legitimate team. I mean, if once Chris Paul could stay healthy, and Jay Crowder is a good role player, he's been to the finals, so I think that's a pretty decent trade.
I
Or I
would
would take Chris
disagree.
Paul over. Would they take Chris
Chris
Paul
Paul's
over
a pensioner.
Spencer Dinwiddie? What?
Chris
Bark
Paul's a
card.
pensioner. Yeah,
Bark
Barker.
card.
I would say
uh,
especially really. But I guess I don't know if we can get to this topic, but I'm eager to ask this question. For all that we know about Katie, how does he impact the roster now of the Dallas Mavericks?
Kyrie.
Curry,
Curry,
sorry.
yeah, Curry.
Yeah, sorry. Because how Luca has a good thing going down there.
I know
He
about
got
that.
pretty.
He needs some help.
I
That
know
man
about
needs some
that.
help.
That man needs some help,
That
boy.
man about hurt.
Look, there was
He
again
been
they
carrying
played
the whole
against
team, the whole
Detroit. He
franchise.
scored 53 of the 106 points that they had. What
So
in
let
the
me
actual
ask.
hell?
50%.
And he had to do it. Like, it was not like he do it. He had 40, 48, and then they say, "Oh, let me just left in the game so he get 50." They literally needed every single drop for those 53 points. Luca desperately needs some help.
Okay,
Genuinely.
so Luca averaging 33 this season, Curry averaging 27. You thinking that this is the team to carry the Mavericks to the Western Conference Finals?
I have no idea.
You have
Anything
no
with
idea.
Kyrie, no, I don't got a clue. I
I
got wait
think
and
they
I
have.
see.
see
I think they
how
have.
they can play out.
Yeah.
I think they have a legitimate chance if they could find some chemistry between those two players, because I know they're both ball dominant players. I know Kerry can play off the ball, but if they could find some good chemistry where they get good, each person gets a good amount of shots, I think they have a legitimate chance. Because I think they were a really good team before they traded Jalen
Jalen
Brunson,
Brunson. Yeah.
and now you have Kerry, who's basically an improved version to Jalen Brunson. You only lost at one other player. Oh, then again, you lost Smith, but you got Marquee Morris.
Steve Morris.
So I
Yeah.
mean, I think the Dallas Mavericks have improved as a team, and they have a good chance. Are they going to win the West? Who knows? But I think they have a much better chance than before. That's all I can say for sure.
All right. My question is, does Curry's ego affect Luca on the court? Because we were both talking about ball dominant people. Does it? Or is it established that this Luca's the franchise player, Luca getting the ball when Luca asks for the ball?
This is the thing. You. We had a conversation
No.
previously about that point.
I can
Identifying
go
who's the
ahead
clear
and
number
say
one.
no.
Identify who's the clear number one. Right.
Come
That
on.
I think that was the issue because there's some ambiguity there. So I feel like Luca
Yeah,
in that ceremony, Luca can say like,
Luca's number one.
yeah,
Luca's
yeah.
number one.
I
Hands
don't think there
down.
can be a
Hands
question
down.
about that. Truthfully, I don't think there can be a question about that. And I feel like it should work theoretically. Putting all the drama aside,
Everything
Kyrie
works
should
in
be able.
theory.
Kyrie should be able to play with Luca because if you look at Luca kind of that LeBron more a player. Not exactly, but the kind of style of player, passing
Yeah.
ways especially. So I feel like they could find a way to work
Luca,
offensive.
Luca's
My
Luca's
issue,
not a man that dribbles. He dribbles the ball like
he's
I
dribble a
swear
lot.
like 9 10 feels it like excessive. LeBron doesn't
LeBron plays.
dribble
Yeah,
excessively.
yeah, but I feel like Luca should be able to adjust the play with Kyrie, man. I think so. I
Hopefully,
don't know,
hopefully.
but lost my train of thought for a second. I I don't know, man. Kyrie, Kyrie just gotta get rid of the drama stuff and just come
Drama.
and play some basketball, man. And on the defensive end is where it was going to go. Hopefully they could find. And that's my issue. I hope they're doing another trade because the Mavericks just traded two good defenders, and they're already 24th in defense on the season. So I don't know where that's going to go from there. Truthfully, that's my worry for them. But on offense, I feel like they have the skill, the experience to figure out what's the best way to get these two guys to function on the court. At the same time, and even if you stagger their minutes, one comes on, come off earlier than the other, and play with the second unit, etc., etc. This
That's
should be a
exactly
way.
what I was thinking.
Yeah.
That if both of them can be ball dominant players, yes, at times you could have both
Cannot,
of
you
those
cannot
on,
bench.
on
You
the
cannot
court,
bench
but
Kyrie.
I mean,
What?
you gotta make it work.
You can't.
And
You
the goal is
cannot
to win a
bench Kyrie.
championship. So
Maybe
if the
nobody
goal is
say
to
bench.
win a championship, then I think that's the best. That is one of the best options that could possibly get them that far. But as general manager Hakeem, how would you best put these two players together?
I mean, all I was saying, it sounds like you guys were alluding that one player be on the bench, while the other player is on the is on the court.
No, during the game, they'll probably.
No.
I'm not calling like either of them a bench player. It's just that while the game is going on, they don't play all 48 minutes. So when Luka
Yeah,
come
yeah,
off,
that
Kyrie
will
on.
happen, but
Or when
but I
Kyrie
can't.
on.
That has to be the minor part of the game. The majority of the
Right.
game, both of them have to be on the court. They're no use to each other if they both can't play together.
Well,
So, however, the coach.
I would kind of mirror what you say in that I think it would be better for the majority of the game that one of the players will be on the court. And then
Both have to be.
for the minority, them could share the court. Until then, could really figure out how to work together. Because I don't think coming in fresh, Kyrie and Luka is going to work just like that.
Right,
we know
that's the
that don't
but
happen.
in order for it to work, they gotta get reps doing it. So they gotta be in the court together. This is me. I think
Right.
that
So start out minor 1st, share the court in periods first, like small portions first, see how it work out, and then graduate from that.
We basically made it through the season. This ain't no preseason, you know. You go hop right into it. Dallas ain't got time to waste.
Yeah,
Down
but
in
you
standings.
also don't got time to mess up either. You gotta make sure that
those
Yeah,
are
them
two
standings
bona fide
tight.
superstars.
exactly.
We
We talking about the West.
Professionals, so I think they're gonna be able to find a way to get it done. They will find a way. They cannot not play them both together. They will find a way.
KD, LeBron, Russell Westbrook, all professionals. And it seems like they still haven't figured it out.
Well, no, they have figured it out. No, they have.
Figured out what?
Oh, to have fun? Because that's all
System
I'm
right now.
you know, Russ will echo that.
Russ is leading the troops from the bench and doing an outstanding job as sixth man of the year.
I think what all someone answer right now is what's the Lakers record.
We will make the playing turn. We will make the play. That's all you gotta worry about.
All I'm saying, right, Hakeem, is that because you got star players working together, don't mean that it's gonna work out just like that. That's all I'm saying. And we've seen it happen time and time again. Even when James Harden, Kyrie, and Durant was all playing together at the beginning, they didn't have it figured out either. So
still need to hold it here.
it's always gonna take time. Some amount of time is going to take, and I think the safest bet for them to do is to share the court in little chunks first, and then expand as they figure out how they could work best together.
You know
That's the
how
best
they
option.
you know how they could do it? I think we had the same conversation when Murray was traded to the Hawks. And we asked ourselves how Murray and Trae Young was going to hold the ball because both ball dominant. Maybe they could just model what the Hawks had done. The Mavs could model what the Hawks did in order to get to it and playing together because we see Murray and Trae Young playing very good basketball together. That would be my suggestion if it was the GM. I would say, look at what was done by the Hawks and try to implement it with these two. But I don't I just want to trust Kyrie. Trust him.
I don't know why y'all don't trust him, man.
I mean, it's easy.
He has given up.
Exactly, it's so easy to figure out way.
I don't know why y'all don't trust him.
But come on, man.
But we talking about on the basketball court though. We ain't talking about all the other fluff
Well,
stuff.
fair enough.
We talking
All right,
on
but
the
even when he's saying so, remember what he said when he and KD traded? The first time I could look to a man, the next man to take the important shot, whatever the case is, paraphrasing, but that's essentially said.
Yeah.
Yeah, LeBron James, that's pure disrespect.
Exactly.
Pure
Utter
disrespect.
disrespect. One of the clutchest basketball players of all time.
Of all time. Come on, and then to hear that, and then he was also talking about when he was like Boston Celtics, he's going to bring a chip. He was going to do this. He was going to do that. And then
He wasn't planning to leave.
Exactly. He's untrustworthy.
all plans don't work
Even
out.
at the Nets, he was like, he's not even number 7.
Yeah.
Where he is now. Where he is now.
All plans don't work out, man. Things is happening.
That
Look,
man is a schemer.
It's true.
I'm firing shots. Ah.
Clown himself.
Without people, I think we had a good discussion on that, but we'll take a break and we'll be right back with more hot topics. So stay tuned. Welcome back, Astro World. Let me dive right into it, not wasting any time. LeBron James, the king. Akeem, let me start with you because I know I probably right that you wasn't talking about. I mean, you wasn't waiting on this opportunity to talk about LeBron passing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in points all time. What were your thoughts generally of his career thus far, and
So
how do you feel as a super fan of LeBron
as a super
James
fan.
that he's actually like completing this feat after 20 years of being in the league?
Well, me personally, I would say for one, it is an amazing accomplishment to be able to eclipse Kareem as the all-time leader in points in the NBA. You know, a record that's stood for many years is just a testimony to the greatness of LeBron James. You know, a lot of players have tried, a lot of players have gotten close. Karl Malone, people thought Karl Malone was going to break it, but didn't. So, you know, it's not as easy as people think it is. And then to be in the league for 20 years, playing at all-time level at 38 years old, playing at this kind of level, averaging, going on streaks, averaging over 30 points per game at 38 years old. Let's just think about this. This man just made an all-star team as a captain at 38. So, you know, to be able to, it just is one of the many accolades that, you know, goes on his long resume of accomplishments. So I'm just happy. Hopefully, you know, it swayed some of these youths to say that LeBron is the GOAT. You know, four chips. I know he's the all-time leader in points, top 10 in assists. I'm pretty sure he's top 10 in rebounds as well too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
It just shows he is a diverse, and there are many, he's multifaceted in his game. So kudos to LeBron James, the real GOAT.
Well said, well said.
Am I coming down a monologue over here? Or
Ma rehearsed that one in front of the mirror.
all right, this is what you say about it, right? For all the bronsexuals, this is like Messi winning the World Cup. This, to me, all right, there will always be a MJ versus LeBron debate, but it definitely is a crowning achievement that would separate LeBron from many athletes. So to me, it's not even a debate now of whether LeBron is top 5, top 3. I think it's simply between the all-time battles between LeBron and MJ. No Kobe, nobody should come ahead of LeBron after this one.
So that means that he's number one then?
No, number 2. Well, number 1 or 2. Number 1 or 2. But I think this definitely speaks to LeBron's longevity in the game. It speaks to his lack of injuries, his consistency, the load management. I understand this load management of Kawhi Leonard and this body. And
new days, buddy, new days.
Exactly. LeBron is playing games of basketball. He's doing what he needs to do. This man has been driving. from the time he was 18 to the basket. This man 30. This man is driving for 20 years.
Yeah.
Come on, man. You got the. Huh?
No, I was saying the amount of dad and son combos he's played against in the league has been surreal as well too.
Exactly.
So
yeah, it just speaks to how there's going to be no basketball player as good as LeBron that plays basketball as long as LeBron. Especially his play style is one that's very not yet, but there's
maybe not ever.
People was probably saying that about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar point accolades as well. So hey,
LeBron has another 2-3 years playing at this playing in the NBA. I can't say at what level, but he's gonna be playing in the NBA. He's gonna be added on to these points. Hopefully he's gonna get past 40K. I expect him to get past 40K.
There might come a time, buddy, and I hope you're alive to see it too. There might come a time.
We shall see.
Right on. Your thoughts?
I probably would be, I guess, a little bit different to say it. It was inevitable. It is inevitable at this point, as we all know. But as Cody said, the consistency, the longevity of this man, the exceptional performance, the exceptional output from this man for so long can only result in this man doing something that has never been done before. You know, he deserves it. He's putting out time. He's putting out work. He's been an exceptional leader all the way through his career, even from as young as 18 years old. You know, for the time this man come in this league, that he was going to be special. He was going to be great, and you could pick out those guys from early on. Right now, in our era, I would say, in our era to some extent, Luka is one of those guys coming out the league straight off the bat, just hooping.
You read that Luka going at Hakeem? If he could keep it up, I think.
I mean, Luka might not reach like the all-time scoring record, but he's going to be up there. Probably when his career is done, if it continues on his PSI zone in our top 10 conversation for sure.
I think his diet and his regimen, his fitness regimen is probably the biggest challenge to him playing. It's not easy to play 20 years in a season.
What's the man diet, Hakeem?
LeBron, Luka's coming every after every start of the season, come overweight, come a little unfit. Has to find his way to get his legs again.
Man, that might be coach fat, B. That might not be diet fat. That might just.
But it should be. But if he's on the coach, he should be training all year. You don't see that happen to LeBron James. It's not easy to play 20 years. You know how many players have retired that's coming in the 03 season, 03 draft class with LeBron James. I don't think are there any left back?
Nah.
No, and if there are any not playing at his level, Dwayne Wade retired years ago, and Dwayne Wade came in with him. Carmelo Anthony was a shell of himself. So
for years.
It's not easy to play at his level for 20 seasons. So Luka, as much of a talent he is, unless he changes his style, I can't see him lasting 20 years.
But Luka don't play like the style of LeBron, truthfully.
No. When I say style, not his basketball style. I mean his off the court style. His eating habits, his workout, his fitness programs, etc. His off season training to make sure he stays in shape.
But
look at James Harden.
I just saying that there are those guys that you could see from the time that they come into the league that are destined for greatness, and LeBron was one of those few.
Wait, I want to make a point to that.
Yeah.
LeBron James had the most hype coming into the NBA over any player in the world. Any player all time, right? LeBron James has surpassed every single expectation that was thrust upon him when he was 18 years old. Has far exceeded it all. Right? I personally sound like a real brosexual right now.
You gotta get him flowers, right? Get him on the flowers.
You got to give him the flowers because that in itself is a feat. Second, we're talking about Luka's dad thing. LeBron James invests so much money on his body in terms of recovery, in terms of sports science, in terms of dietitians, everything. So that is what has allowed him the 20 years and all the longevity and staying injury free for large portions of his career.
Right.
Many NBA stars might not be putting that much attention into those things. So maybe Hakeem is right. I'm not, we're not fat shaming Luka Doncic, nothing like that. But I'm saying if he were to pay attention, like how LeBron James has paid attention to his body and recovery, maybe he might have the career that LeBron James has had. That's all I'll say on that.
Facts. And
Well said. Well said.
I would like to add, right, that every generation of greatness inspires a new generation to follow suit.
That's true.
So I think in my head, if LeBron can do it, somebody else in the future might get some type of inspiration. And I ain't say that this person will get it done, but what I'm saying is that a new generation always comes up with the inspiration of the older generation, right? And we'll see it time and time again. Yes, records would be harder to break and what's not, but I think we're going to see people getting close to those top 10 numbers.
No, I disagree. And you want to know why? There are some people that are just genetic freaks of nature. LeBron James is simply one of those people. No more hard work commit where you want to shoot as good as LeBron. He could be putting 24 hours in the day for 6 days a week. He will never be as good. I'm sorry.
I think he got it at this point.
Got it.
I just think
I just say that to say, yeah, no, as good as some players might be, Ja Morant is an athletic freak, right? He's still not as athletic as LeBron was during those early stages of his career. That's all I'm saying. So some people just cannot get there because of the genetics. The boy is ridiculous.
I never put things out the window, or I never take things off the shelf that people can't reach. I will leave it there. And then people gotta prove me wrong. But I just think, like the old slogan say, records are meant to be broken. And I think that's one to aim for. If it's not the points, maybe it's the longevity. Maybe somebody will come in and go longer.
Who wants to play? You want to be like what's my guy from the Miami Heat?
Don't size them?
He's been essentially as a assistant coach for the last 3 years. But as a player coach.
Hey man, but the man still getting paid. Hey, remember that.
But who wants to be in the league? Who wants to be playing the league for 20 years but can't get more than 2 minutes a season?
Exactly.
Clearly he does.
So I don't think most players want that for this season. I think they're going to retire.
Practice buddies. Everybody counts for team success.
So I can say this about your comment about records made to be broken, right?
Yeah.
Bringing it to athletics, Flo Jo has a record in the 100 meter that literally will never be broken because she was on drugs and nobody could beat that record. People established that the young lady, not Shelly Ann Fraser-Price, but one of the other Jamaicans is the fastest person on earth because the record is so ridiculous. That is LeBron James. LeBron James is the natural version of somebody on drugs. So who touches that record?
Fair point. Fair point. Very fair point. So everybody had the chance to give LeBron his flowers, and I don't think there's anything much that I could add, to be honest, to kind of fluff it up anymore. Like you guys said, he's a sensational athlete. From 18 years old, to me, that's crazy to play at this level from 18 years old. To play any sport from that young and last this long is a great feat. And I just want to say congrats to LeBron. He's been a joy to watch playing basketball. He's been always in the conversation of greatness. And for somebody to play that long, I mean, the conversation for that long, I think is also something that we could relish in this lifetime as well. At least we can say that we got to see greatness in LeBron James, and that's all I can add, to be honest.
Yeah, to be in person.
Say again?
I say yet to be in person. If there's one thing you gotta do
Boy, I
before
hope
it,
it gotta be quick.
it gotta get a chance to watch LeBron live, boy.
Yeah, it gotta be quick to breathe the same air, you know. Um, so yeah. Congrats to LeBron, even though it might not have happened quite as yet, but like you say, Rayvon, is inevitable.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. Tickets going crazy to see it happen.
Wait,
Just to
is
be in the arena, like 26, no,
96
90 something, yeah, 97,000 or
Probably
something.
that's probably for a court. So you see
93 or 92?
96.
That that's some land.
And then,
A lot of free.
That's some land at the Charterhouse.
it's true. Or that's two brand new cars.
Yeah, boy. So yeah, I think I think a lot of people now can argue that he's probably number one. I don't know what argument could kind of combat that now. You know, people will talk about playing styles. People could talk about eras and all that kind of stuff. But when you try to combine the two, because there's usually two arguments: stats and what the fan thinks based on playing style and stuff like that. And if this man could be up there in both of them, I think it's not a crazy argument to say that he's overall number one. But hey, that debate will always happen, and I really don't want to dive too deep into that tonight.
Yeah.
But hey, King James, congrats to you, my brother. And I don't know if you guys want to plug anything else on King James. Haki, you want to go ahead, or are
I
you
think
good?
Haki said enough.
Yeah. I just say congratulations. I'm expecting him to, I think he's about 35 points away from matching it. 36 points to break.
It'd be good if he could drop a 50 bomb.
I wouldn't be surprised if he goes and breaks it on the Thunder game. You know, the Thunder is a nice place to break the record. You know, easy peasy. So I think he may go and drop a 40 piece, get the record, get the win, and have a great night.
I disagree there, man. Because the game I
You want to do against the Bucks?
do against the Bucks at home,
Yeah.
in front of the Lakers fans, like
That's an
why the hell
accolades.
not? Why the hell not? I think that would be more
Do it at home.
more momentous.
Do it at home against Giannis.
Yeah.
But you know Giannis ain't trying to let that happen.
I
That's not
think
so. He
he's
can't
gonna
stop
break the
it.
record regardless.
Yeah.
If he doesn't break it, but if he doesn't break the record by the time of the game, he's definitely gonna break it in the Bucks game. But you want to make sure you break the record and also win the game. I'm not saying they can't beat the Bucks.
Yes, that's what you're saying. That's why you choose OKC.
Shaky.
That's why you choose OKC.
Shaky.
If in North American culture, when you have those homecoming games, when you're playing your homecoming game at home, you want to set up a nice, easy away team to get the win, keep the crowd happy, everybody ecstatic. You don't want to play the most difficult team on the block. So,
But if you could do it there, though, that's a
but you don't want to play the most difficult team. It's supposed to be a nice homecoming, nice chilled, celebratory win. Break the record, have a good night. You don't
I would
want to play
say
the
go
Bucks.
for it. I would say
break the
go
record
for it.
regardless. He's gonna break the record regardless on the Bucks.
No, against the
If he doesn't-
Bucks. That's what you want. Go for it
If
against
he
the
doesn't,
Bucks.
but
Drop
he
a
has to play
30
the
piece
Thunder.
on Giannis. Send home
He could drop-
Giannis.
He could
And
get 10. He could get 10. He could get 30 pieces against the Thunder and drop 5 points to break the record in the Bucks game. The point is, if he doesn't break it by the Thunder,
but then
game, he's
if he
definitely gonna
lose
break
like
it.
you say, then
That's
it's
the
like
point. So break it at the Thunder.
Nah,
You want nice?
nah,
But that's
nah.
my approach on it.
He can get it at the Bucks, buddy. He can drop a big game. Just like Kobe on his retirement game, dropped like what 60? It was.
Yeah, it was 61
60,
year or
yeah.
something. That's 60.
Bruh.
Everybody passing the ball. That was a different story. Everybody passing the ball. That's one
So
thing.
who ain't pass the ball to LeBron?
You want the win. You want the win, though. You want the win. But fair enough.
I don't understand, Hakeem. I don't understand. You don't want
I
any
even feel-
tarnishes at all. Like you
You want
I
great
even
night.
feel
You
like-
want great night.
I even feel like when what what can happen when it does happen, everything can stop. The whole game can stop. They can spend like 10 minutes,
Yeah.
celebrating and stuff like that. I feel like it can be so much better at home though. But
exactly.
That's fair. That's
regardless of whether they win or lose, to me, I think it'd just be so much better for him. He probably would want to do it at the Lakers arena anyway. So that's just my take on that. Truthfully, regardless of win or
That's
lose.
fair.
Lakers got so much history,
Yeah,
Jed.
like what
That's
do you
that's
want to do? Eddie Hall's
crazy.
a well, it's not Staples Center, but whatever it name now. Like I wouldn't want to do it there for his LeBron. Not the
Man
Thunder.
had
Not in
one of the
OKC. Who the
best
hell?
duels. One of the best duels, one of the greatest players to play the game. Then the man got this record breaking under them hosts. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, I feel like the
To
Lakers
me, that's
people, the Lakers fan will start parade after that game, win or lose. Truthfully,
you will see Hakim dressed different next week.
On
um
my tank top.
let me switch gears and just talk about the all-star reserves. Last week we spoke about the starters and we discussed a little bit on the starters and who should have been the starters. And you guys give some predictions on your reserves. Let me see how your predictions kind of level up to what was, I guess,
actually happened.
selected um, over last week. So, Hakeem, we can start with your list.
All right. So basically, looking at the West first, I would have gotten about four to the seven reserves. So it would have been
Wow.
Sabonis, Jamorant, Markkinen, and Lillard. I didn't expect, to be honest, I don't think anybody really expected Jaron Jackson to make it uh, over Anthony Davis or
Anybody
even
over
or anybody
anybody,
or De'Aaron Fox.
you getting
I
far.
felt like I know Ravon correctly predicted shit. I kudos to that. I'm a Paul George fan, but I forgot about Paul George. I didn't really think he was playing at that level where I would have put him over Darren Fox. I said Darren Fox Kings are like third at the time, playing at a high level. He's averaging at least in the 20s, I think mid 20s points per game. This is Darren Fox I'm talking about. His team has a winning record. I don't see why you will not put him as the one of the reserves. Not even a walker, but just one of the main reserves. So I was not too far off, but I feel like Jaron Jackson should not have been there. He's played legit about 12 more minutes than Anthony Davis,
Yeah.
and you can't compare those two players. So I just felt like he should not be there. Shea is fair. I can't really argue with Shea, but definitely Jaron Jackson Jr. I would not put him there. And Paul George here nor there. The
Fair
East,
enough.
the East was not as close. I had Julius Randle, I had Joel Embiid, and Jalen Brown. I would have mentioned DeMar DeRozan, but I didn't actually put him in my list, so I don't know if I can get that point there or not.
No.
But I, but I felt I felt like James Harden should have been in that lineup. I don't. You can't have. I think the 76ers were, I think, a second in the East, second or third. And you can't tell me Joel's been carrying the team solely. James Harden's missed a couple of games, yes, but I think the person has been set that it was not that many games that okay, he should have made the team. I think he was playing at eye level. Obviously, he's still contributing great numbers in terms of the assists, not as many in the points, but James Harden not being included was really a surprise to me. And I felt like a Cavaliers like Darius Garland or Evan Mobley could be there. Really, Darius Garland. I just felt like I must have underestimated Drew Holiday. He was a surprise. I'm happy that he made it. I think this is either his first
Second
or second.
is second
Second.
one. Yeah.
So yeah, so I'm happy for him. But I guess that's what I forgot about. I guess that's why he's underrated because I wasn't studying Drew Holiday at all. And Bam playing good. I had Jimmy over Bam, but Bam is playing at a high level as well too. So no, it's a fair. The East is fair. It's fair, but definitely the West. I think De'Aaron Fox was robbed for sure. Anthony Davis.
So, all right. So from my list, so the starting off on the west side, the only team that I believe that the only person I had wrong was well, not only I had
Yeah.
Aaron Gordon, Aaron Gordon to get in. Like, that was a kind of a weak pick looking back, but essentially, Jaren Jackson Jr. take that spot I thought Aaron Gordon would get, and I definitely was not looking at Jaren Jackson Jr. as a candidate to be in the All Star game. He played only 35 games up to that point. Like, come on. And my thing is, if you're gonna put Jaren Jackson and what about AD? AD
Yeah.
played just as much amount of games. Like, why
Just
not
as
put it?
little.
Yeah, just as little, right? Yeah, the best way to put it. Just as little amount of games, and he even get a consideration. Bear in mind, though, guys, going forward, we know that Curry hurt, so he might get replaced.
Mm.
I Zion probably will get replaced
Yeah,
as well.
yeah. Most
So
definitely, yeah.
AD may
There's
get
still
his
room,
still. Yeah,
still
AD's.
opportunities there.
I'm absolutely
And
stunned.
hopefully De'Aaron Fox can get in.
Yes, I
Hopefully
am
De'Aaron Fox can
absolutely
get in.
stunned at the fact De'Aaron Fox didn't get in. I don't know how on earth Paul George get on this list. It don't make sense to me up to now. He played barely any games, but outside of that, yes, he's averaging. His numbers look good, but I just watching some of the Clippers games, I just don't feel like Paul George has had that impact on the team when in comparison to De'Aaron Fox's impact and his numbers. When the guys pretty much got the same numbers, and De'Aaron Fox is number three in the West with the Sacramento Kings. How on earth could you miss that? Like that's just
Agreed.
terrible coming from the voters. Truthfully speaking, absolutely terrible. And back to Jaren Jackson Jr. Like why? Because he averaging 4 blocks a game at home. Like what was the rationale behind that? And Anthony Edwards
And and
balling out to his
and
mind.
the, and the Grizzlies have been to add to that. The Grizzlies have been on a serious losing streak these last 9 games too. The Grizzlies have been
I mean,
not good at all.
they're still in second place though at the end of the day. But
But
so
they've been losing lately.
yeah, true. But I, there's just terrible selections from the voters this toss. Um, so sadly for Anthony Edwards and AD and De'Aaron Fox, they might not have to sneak through as an injury replacement, which feels a little bit sad.
Cheap.
Yeah, yeah, it's sad. It's a cheap way to get into something that's so prestigious. Um, Going on to the East, Drew Holiday was my biggest surprise. I was not looking for him at all whatsoever. I did not even study this
Mention he
man
didn't
at
study
all.
him. Yeah, he
Like
didn't
he
study him
would
at
never
all.
even come to mind. Even DeMar DeRozan come to mind, and the Bulls ain't really that great. But truthfully, I feel like Trey Young and James Harden get cheated. They also probably have a chance to get in with an injury as a injury replacement. But truthfully, I think James Harden should have gotten that Drew Holiday spot. Really and truly, Bam is a. I had Bam on my radar, but Bam didn't really play that many games either. He kind of was in a similar spot to like, well, maybe not as bad as Jaren Jackson, but maybe like Paul George. He probably played about the same amount of games, and so I was a little bit surprised that he got in. But he has a pretty decent record, and Jimmy missed a lot more time than he did, so I could see why they would probably put him Bam over Jimmy.
Okay.
Trey Young, kind of a big snub, I would say. Even though they're having a pretty up and down season, Trey Young has been pretty much the same all across the board. So I don't see what he didn't get him, but uh, it is what it is. And another underrated person mentioned, Jalen Brunson. He didn't get in as well. He's
Yeah.
arguably the better player on the team as it relates to the Knicks. More impactful player. I'll truthfully put him there over Julius Randle. Kind of sounds like you have a negative.
But Jalen Brunson played. Jalen Brunson played. He's a point guard, small forward.
Point
Point
guard.
No,
guard.
shooting guard. He's a point guard.
Gee.
And I think he's the reason why Julius Randle is an all star, but you can hear that.
But you just rather made the All Star list before, so I mean,
Yeah, I mean, he had a good point guard playing at the time. D Rose was playing exceptional at the point guard
So,
position that year that they went to the playoffs was the third seed. Julius Randle was having exceptional exceptional season because of that. So once
okay,
Julius Randle has an exceptional point guard, he's going to thrive. But I just feel like Jalen Brunson has been much more impactful for the team.
that's right. I could agree.
Hmm.
No doubts, no doubts. Fight night in the NBA over the last week, and who's in the news again? Dylan Brooks. A couple weeks ago, we know about the whole shenanigans that went down. Now he back at it again. This time, is with Donovan
Donovan
Mitchell.
Mitchell.
Spied up. Thoughts?
When they saw that play, right? I think I think he tried to block Mitchell, if I'm not mistaken. No, he was trying. No,
No,
he
he
was
was the
trying to
one
score
trying to
actually.
score.
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
trying to score, and he didn't make the basket,
yeah.
and he fell. and then as a reaction, I saw him land a cheap blow.
Man,
And
line you up.
me watching this, I'm like, in real time, how does it even come to your head to do something so quickly? You just
Exactly.
fell, and you first off and hit a guy
That's
right
a
there.
good point.
Like I was like, this guy is a dirty player. Like,
Yeah, he's a
this
demon boy.
I'm like, you can't be seriously. You know, you're technically on the ground. You just got hit to the ground. I was like, whoa. So I was truly shocked. But he said he didn't mean to do it.
I wasn't
I
sure.
don't think I could believe. I can't believe
Man,
that. I
that
just feel
man
like
look at the target
he
and
looked at him
line
first
you up.
and then hit him up and then hit him. And rightfully so, Donovan Mitchell responded the way he should have. I think most players would respond. You can't. You can't go that low. Come on now. But I'm disappointed in Dylan Brooks, but I don't know if to be surprised. I've now realized without a shadow of a doubt he's one of those enforcers. He's a dirty player. He's gonna do what has to be done. He's one of those players you want on your team.
Don't say
Like,
that.
you're happy he's on your team, but you don't want to play against him.
Don't say it has to be done. That that was
So
completely
he's an
uncalled for.
he's an enforcer. You know, some players like that. You know, they're gonna try to do the whatever needs to be done, in their mind to get under the skin of the opposing player, especially the best player on the opposing team. So as I said, most teams would be happy to have a player like him, but they may not say it outwardly, they might actually confess it, but they're gonna be in the locker room. Yeah, boy, happy we did that one, Dylan. We needed that one, bro. Good job. But you don't want to play a player. You don't want to play against a player like Dylan Brooks.
Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts on that, Rayvon?
Nasty, conniving, uh, dirty. All the negative words that you could think
Oh,
about. Like that, as you said, rightfully so. That's totally unnecessary. The man literally
Yeah.
wind that up. The man, as he was falling, you know how bad man you gonna be. You falling down,
Yeah.
you looking at that man, you premeditating hitting this man. He nuts. While you falling
That's
down,
crazy.
like
Crazy.
that's next level bad mind. Truthfully, truthfully. So I feel like he should have been suspended longer because
Yeah.
Dylan Brooks got a history for this man. He really has, and I don't think he's going to start anyway, especially given the energy around this Grizzlies team. They thrive off of things like that for some reason.
Yeah.
They
Straight
thrive
off
off again.
negativity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, going at people.
A bunch
Everybody
of
saying, "Oh, them
boys
is
that
dogs,
play
row, row, row,
basketball.
row, them is dogs." But
Just a bunch of black boys
yeah,
playing basketball.
I
That's
don't
all.
know. It borderlining immaturity at this point, to some
Yeah.
extent. Because it's getting us so much unnecessary squabbles and fight. Yes, people want to see that stuff, but this was a step beyond.
You
And
must see you meant to do that.
he didn't mean to do
yeah,
what?
I don't know.
But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, he got trying to
looked
protect
at
himself. No,
he looked at Mitchell first and then
Yeah.
did it.
yeah,
Like that's not even a natural place for he had to go to get
no,
up.
it isn't.
Like
Exactly. You know, at least
So
be a
you,
little more clever.
you haven't got anything to add to the vocab that Rayvon just spit, or
All I can say, he's not good enough of a player to be getting in all this mess like thing like that. He,
Mhm.
like,
But it's
leave this.
overcompensation.
Yeah, leave this for men that actually can play basketball. We actually care about getting into this star squabbles. Like, we don't care about you, Dylan, bro. You just play basketball, know your role, drop 10 points in the game, and try to help Jamarant to win the game. That's all we asking for. That's it.
another like crazy fight though that happened this week was Austin Rivers and Mo Bamba. Mo Bamba was not even on the court. So
He's a
this is
madhead.
like what could have been Shannon and Grizzlies,
Yeah,
but only thing is like players know.
that's a good point.
Thoughts?
But also, we were saying that that nobody can't come to his city without checking in with him. So apparently, he's the Mickey Mouse King because.
I like that one, man.
Yeah, so
Wait,
like, tell
what
us
team?
Rivers the one is afraid of him, please. Like, start the bad boy acts. Just be Doc Rivers, son, and do what you gotta do, buddy. Come on.
I don't think Austin Rivers trying to be a bad boy because he come on and say that he ain't trying to put in front that he's a tough guy in our name. So, but he ain't taking the disrespect from nobody. I see time as well.
He
Well,
would have get bought up though. I ain't gonna lie.
yeah, he was in a bad
How
spot.
we
First
see
of all, he put himself in a terrible position. It's only he that went on there. It's only he that went on there. So he had no boy to
No
buy
one
here.
help. Yeah.
No boy to buy here at all.
I feel like if he's not mistaken, he was shooting a three. He shot a three, And then that's me know Mobamba trying to start a fight. If he probably told Mobamba something, but watch the three go and splash,
Yeah.
or I was really trash talking, and Mobamba
Mad.
wasn't about it. But I don't know what he could have
Mad.
said to aggravate, to provoke Mobamba to come on the court and start throwing hands. Like
I
this
interested to
is
find out what he said too. Well, I guess we'll never know.
he,
But it
boy
started
Johnson,
on the play
you can't guard
before.
me.
It started on the play before because what happened is Austin Rivers shot a three, it missed, and Mobamba like he told him something. And with the reaction in the video, you could see Markel Fultz looking at Mobamba like, you just told him on that. You, that's what you just said for real. Like Mobamba had to tell
Uh,
Austin Rivers something completely unhinged. No doubt about it. No doubt about
And
it. So Austin
Austin
Rivers really,
responded,
yeah, exactly.
retaliated.
Yeah, exactly.
You
So
probably talk about Doc Rivers' record.
probably, but I don't know, man. Crazy week in the NBA. NBA got more fights than boxing. This is unimaginable.
Boxers don't even want to fight no more.
Exactly. Look at this. But hey, we are here.
Yeah, fight night, fight week all over the place. Um, I think we should take a break. When we come back, boys got some words for your boy, so we can talk about last week's recap and for the marquee matchup predictions and talk about this week's marquee matchups as well. Then we close the show. So see you guys in a few
Yeah,
minutes.
that's it.
Yeah, we back, peoples. We back. Let me jump right into this. Lakers at Knicks was a good game. Went overtime, and then as overtime seemed to be going in the league so far, it get to overtime and some team get blow out. And
Yep.
it was Knicks this time. That's basically what it was. Um, anything that stood out to you guys in that matchup or no?
I just love the fact that LeBron and AD combined for 55 points. When those two are playing together, they're healthy and playing well, and AD is aggressive and getting major points on the board like he should, like he's capable of. Lakers is a force to be reckoned with. So we got the win as predicted. Just to put out there, I went 3 for 3 this week. So
Gee wee.
I know you had I know you a little lucky last. I know it was a little lucky last week. You needed that luck, but you back to normal now. 3 for 3 for me, and Lakers got the win as expected, and they played well. So I'm happy to see the result.
I had a torrid time, right, Vaughn?
So a man like me went 3 for 3 as well. Last week a
Ooh.
man out here had a crone in the background, but a man like me
No count
got
today.
a crone in the real life. 3 for 3. You want that with me? You want that with me, Hans? Bringing it out. Bringing it out, dog. But yeah, man. The Lakers. Every time the Lakers win a game, I think it's the time that they actually gonna get to go on a run, and boost their positioning in the standings. But it doesn't ever happen. They find a way to
But
lose
then
another game.
reality hits.
Yeah,
And
they find a way to lose another game. This was one of those games was like, yo, this is a great game from LeBron and AD. Like,
Mhm.
you gotta carry on the momentum from here, and then back down the drain. Oh shoot, lost
Eh,
it.
you don't deserve that crown, buddy.
How you mean?
It,
What you mean?
ain't belong there. That's
How
why
you
you fall
mean?
off. Does
Nah,
it belong
nah,
there?
nah, nah, nah. A man, I only get one. Can't be telling me so this week. Can't be telling me so at all.
Yeah, I had a lucky last week.
Nets versus Celtics.
We ain't gonna talk about this
Nets
game.
get
Yeah,
whipped.
we ain't gonna talk about this game at all. The Nets get utterly destroyed.
Yo.
Yeah, I don't
From
think
the
we're
first
surprised.
quarter,
It felt
40,
KD.
46 to 16 in the first quarter.
It
Game
was
done from the start.
crazy. It was
Game
well.
over after that. Game over
Game was
after
that.
that.
And then it finished like 136 to 80 something or something like that.
Or
It
140
was
something.
139 to 96.
That's terrible.
Yeah, it was
Absolutely
that
terrible.
Right.
1 to 39 points. The team just I don't even think the starters played the fourth quarter. It was like team next coach part of it probably was like, come guys, let's just relax. This one is out of the bag. We'll regroup we'll regroup next game.
At halftime would have not bring him back. Would have played the bench players for the rest of the game.
I just feel for any Nets fan that paid their hard, paid their money, hard earned money to go and watch that game.
to travel to that game.
Yeah,
Because
that's on top of it too. Yeah,
that'd be
Major
well.
out, major out. But KD was missing, so
That
it's
was a
hard.
whooping.
He didn't know what to expect, and
That was a
Jason
clinic.
Tatum and their boys came out to play, so no
That
prisoners.
this game actually hurt my heart because after I watched the highlights for the first quarter, I just skipped to the end to see what the result was. I couldn't bear to see it. That's the truth. He's at Bucks. No, this game was a good back and forth for the first 3 quarters, and then he's kind of lost it. I guess them never kick into overdrive, and like you guys predicted, Giannis went into his overdrive. But for the record, I asked if Chris Middleton was going to play.
and he ended up turning out, and it was like, yo, so actually
I,
answered that, and the man
I,
appeared out
I
of
was
nowhere.
like, jeez, boy, because my prediction would have been Bucks if Middleton was playing. That was whole reasoning of asking the question.
All these excuses, no, all these
It's no
excuses,
excuse.
no potato.
It is no
You went,
excuse, buddy.
you went 1 for 3,
It's reasons.
1 for 3.
Yeah, boy, I had a torrid time. Anything stood out to you guys in this game, or just good game
Yeah, there's
in
a good
general?
game in general. Like the Heat and the Bucks usually play a solid game. Two strong defensive teams, not so great on offense, and it usually results to Giannis probably having to carry the team to
As
win into
usual.
victory. Yeah, to win into victory. And so it's said, so done. The Heat couldn't put up with him coming on the team on the whole in the final quarter. So
Right.
results speak for
Yeah,
itself.
mirror what Ravon said. Yeah, it's just kind of went overdrive like he does, and made sure his team got the win.
Overall scores, right, one. I think you are in the lead by 1 right now.
No, we tied. We tied.
Oh, we
You had
tied?
you had 27 last week, so you
Mhm.
get one from this week.
I only wanted to make it interesting.
Where am I right now?
Yeah. Sure. Hakim, you at 25.
Ah,
Okay,
Hakim
20.
coming up
Yeah, Hakim
nice.
coming up. So
I
Let's
have
keep
to
it.
say,
28 on the season so far.
28,
Nice,
27,
nice.
28.
28.
Okay, no worry. I catch y'all back in 2 more weeks.
Nice. I like it, man. I like it. No, let me get to our marquee matchups for this week. Cody, you could join in if you want for fun. Because right now you got 0 aim at the Saints. Sixers at Celtics.
I can take a risk on this
Hakim.
one.
We start with you?
I jump in. Sixers.
Alright,
okay,
Sixers.
okay.
Against Sixers. Straight off the bat.
Okay.
That was an easy Celtics wing. can't believe he knows this one.
I
You see the crown off
You
again.
can't falling off. Yeah,
Really
We
put
know.
it back on.
You want
where,
to
it's playing at Celtics at
at
Boston.
Celtics.
Are you going with Celtics?
Celtics.
Just because you want crowd advantage.
Bucks at Lakers.
Lakers.
This is what we talked about earlier.
Yes, I put it in there on
Lakers.
purpose
It
because
has
I
to be
figured
Lakers.
it doesn't have to be.
You
This
see
is
what
man
the
that was so
Lakers
scared.
team?
Go, you
Yeah.
gonna play the Thunder
Yeah,
because you can win.
I would still prefer, but I still believe if they don't break the record, if he doesn't break the record by the time of the game, I think LeBron and his team are gonna go all out to try to get that win for LeBron. You know, they're gonna want to make it a good. They know he's the leader, he's the captain, and they're gonna do what they can to make sure the team gets the win.
AD's
So
going to hurt
Lakers.
himself in the process. of trying to do
Hey,
that.
we don't. We don't.
So,
that
I would
kind of energy
recommend-
over here.
I would
don't
recommend
want that kind of
that
energy.
they don't go all out.
And knocking wood here and knocking wood.
if they have plans of moving from 13th upward. If they really don't care at this point, then I guess it's fine. You can go all out for the culture, for the history, you know.
Yeah, I can go
Gonna get
Lakers
it.
as well in this one, even though.
Your gut tells you Bucks.
Nah, my gut ain't telling me nothing. I think I was going with that solid reasoning that I believe that this is gonna be the game that LeBron do it, even though you think otherwise. And I think that, as you say, the team is going to want to get the win to put icing on top or cherry on top.
Listen, just because the team wants to do it, those doesn't mean that they can do it.
Yeah, but
Cody,
once
could-
it is playing,
Cody,
AD
could you be
Anderson-
on this panel a little bit more, please? Could you?
hey,
I was like,
but, come on, man. It's Giannis versus AD. Once
this is a
AD 's playing,
desire. This is just a desire.
Yeah.
Again,
This team too
I
mid for
believe.
that, man.
Uh,
I believe that.
I share the sentiment, guys.
I
I want
believe that.
Lakers
Hey,
to win too, but I just had a
Lakers,
third week,
but
and
Lakers could go pound for any team. They could go, any one game. They could hold their own against anyone. They have the caliber of players. They
Can do
have,
it.
they have the depth.
But
They can do it.
I know about
any
that
They're
one
part.
they're
game.
early
they're
season,
This one, that one.
they're inconsistent, but no one doubts the skill and the talent on the roster of the Lakers team. So I
but the
think
talent
if
and
they put
skill not showing up in the games. That's why they're 13th.
they've been inconsistent. Yes, that's
Cody,
really inconsistent. But
allow them.
on a
Allow
game
them.
like that, I believe they can pull it together. They've been improving. There's not like they're. And don't forget they had a lot of injuries too. AD was out for a good part of the game,
Yeah,
part of
they
the
can be
season so far.
just no again. Come on, man. We know this man made a
Hey,
paper machine,
hey,
dog.
hey! It's kind of energy. We don't want this. AD's gonna stay healthy, and he's going to finish, play majority the rest of the games for the season. Majority. All right, but
We all
Lakers could
hope, my
win.
brother. We all hope. We all hope. Keep hope alive.
I,
I go
I,
with
So you got.
Bucks.
So you got. But all right, cool.
I see that as Black History Month and Martin Luther dreams really get into hacking on Simmons here.
Yep.
I really just don't know.
Not the government name.
Because I really don't see how these dreams are aiding staying healthy for the rest of the season and all that. Anyway, that's definitely I would say easy Bucks win, but Bucks are definitely carrying on one.
It's better to do OKC Hakim. I agree now.
Yeah.
It's better for the legacy. It's better for the legacy.
Because you can say he dropped 36 and won.
Yeah.
He definitely
Drop
he can score
40 piece
15,
or something.
but he can score 15 against the Bucks and don't win the game.
I must say it'd be really fitting of the Thunder franchise to be the team that be forever remembered that LeBron broke the record, the all-time points record on their court. They'll be forever known as that team. It's quite fitting.
I think they may be motivated for that not to happen. So
There will be, but it's
With the
still fitting.
most
LeBron gets it though.
the more
You can imagine that
analogy
replay.
just puzzle me sometimes. Like
That replay. That's gonna be. Come on, that replay is gonna be happening for years to come. Yeah, see especially if LeBron hits the game-winning shot that helps him to break the record. Oh my, you're gonna see that for years.
all them they
to
see
come.
is your backboard. Them ain't see no OKC logos.
You want to see the OKC player, that player that put his hand up to contest the shot. You see that player there
No,
for
that
years
player.
to come.
Yeah, that player will be in the highlight for years to come. But
And he ain't got the
nothing for
franchise.
OKC as a franchise.
I ain't got the OKC logo right there. Look, I could just
On the
see it now.
jersey.
I could just see it now. LeBron breaks record now in Oklahoma City. Let's keep it pushing.
Wolves at Grizzlies. Or
is that the guys to choose? I
or
was thinking
we
about
could
which.
do Grizzlies at Celtics.
So which you guys think would be more fun?
I think the first one would be more
Wolves
fun.
and Grizzlies. Wolves and Grizzlies got that good rivalry going on.
All right, let me do that. I go in with the Wolves.
Got Anthony Edwards. And
They going to Wolves.
I'll go beer. Yeah. Wolves definitely taking that one.
definitely.
I know,
Confident.
definitely.
Confidence
I'm that
is what he got
confident.
here. It's uncanny.
Confident.
I strive for to have this kind of confidence.
I don't even know who on Grizzlies roster right now that I could put some faith in.
Exactly.
I mean, the Grizzlies have been bad for the past.
Yeah.
Past 9 games or so. They've been on a serious losing streak.
Yeah, it's been embarrassing, truthfully.
That was set in
Morant
motion, you know.
getting into some other off-court stuff too. So a lot of stuff going on with them.
I think Timber got a good chance. Seal it away from home.
Yeah, they've been playing good the last few games. 1-7 in the last 10 games. So things looking up on the Minnesota
I
side.
got my Anthony Edwards and Cass to come true. Yeah,
Castle.
Oh, he's still out.
Yeah.
Well, we got Gobert
Yeah, Gobert should play.
still to
D'Lo playing well.
have a presence in the center.
D'Lo playing well as well. So they should got
Yeah.
they got good coach, and they usually play up against the Grizzlies. So that should be a fun game
It could be a good
Sure.
game, yeah, for sure.
regardless
sure.
of result.
I know it can be a passionate game, that's for sure
Yeah,
too.
yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I can go with Wolves on this one. I'm sure Anthony Edwards, body somebody, please. I need the highlight.
It's true. The last game that they played, right? He had went with ESPN and said he can dunk on somebody, because they played the Grizzlies right the day after he had the interview. Right out the gates, dunk on Jaron Jackson head one time. It will waste time. So
Yeah,
I hope they come back up
he's
with
a
that same energy.
yeah, he's another player that I like to see
Yeah, man.
them type
Yeah.
of highlights from for sure. So that's been it for our market matchups recap and market matchup predictions for this week. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Thanks, Cass, for coming out, chopping it up. Had some fun today. The King is back or trying to be back.
It's here, you mean?
Man, I think you gotta get a new crown. I don't think that fitting right.
Hey, man, I can get a real apron. This Michael the
You
card,
gotta
bro.
get- you gotta get-
Somebody
you
could
gotta get a metallic
open
one.
this and send it me.
Man, you gotta get one to fit.
Hey, I got
proper.
what was available to me at the time.
Fair enough.
Don't hit.
That's not box.
So yeah, that's it for the week. I hope you guys have an awesome week this week. Keep fit, stay healthy, keep laughing, and enjoy the week. Any remarks from you guys before we dip?
Nah, we good. We good, man.
Let's not forget hit that subscribe button, share the
Like
video.
button.
Yeah, hit that like button.
Yeah, hit that like
subscribe.
button.
See too many
Share
people
the
come in
video.
here and they hit the like button. We still got one like on the video. That ain't good enough, peeps. That ain't good enough at all. That ain't
It's
good
rough.
enough.
It's rough out here in these streets. Anyways, people, that's been it for the Hastro talk show. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And Hastro family will see you next week, Monday, same time. Don't be late. We out.
I'll always be late.